What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, second video as we go into game week 31. If you haven't checked out my wildcard draft and players to target video from earlier in the week, make sure you go and check that out now. But what we're going to do today is talk about the 8 remaining game weeks that we have left this season, when we can use our chips, when there are likely to be double game weeks, how big the game weeks are likely to be, how big the blanks are likely to be if there are any of those to go, and sort of talk about, yes, we've got only 8 game weeks left to achieve the ranks that you want, to win the mini leagues that you guys are competing in. So we're just going to talk about all of that in this video, where I'm planning on using my chips as well. So I will include a bit of my chip strategy. As a reminder, I have my wildcard, 1 free hit, and my bench boost to play between now and the end of the season. So I have 3 chips to play in 8 game weeks, which means I've only got 5 game weeks where I won't be playing a chip. Now I am undecided on exactly when I'll do it, but we'll talk about all the different possibilities between now and the end of the season in this video. So let's dive straight in, starting with game week 31. So we know that this is a double confirmed for Everton and for Burnley. The chip that I would consider using this week is your wildcard. If you still have your wildcard left, I do definitely think it's a good time to use it. It allows you to get 8 game weeks of planning in to really bring a team that can maximize the amount of points, not just for 2 or 3 game weeks if you play your wildcard later in game week 34, for example, but it allows you to bring in a team that can really maximize the amount of points that you could score over 8 game weeks. Now, a few teams that you want to target, this will really depend on whether you're free hitting in game week 33 or not, and whether you're playing your bench boost that week. Again, if you are wildcarding in game week 31, make sure to go and check out my wildcard video, because that discusses it in a lot more detail about the players that I would be picking if I was on a wildcard this week. Now, next up is game week 32, which is predicted to be a normal game week. Now, they've announced game week 33 as a double game week, which we'll get to in just a moment. So it looks like game week 32 is going to be a normal game week. Now, Liverpool playing Manchester City during that, so it is quite a big game week because a lot of us will have heavy ownership in that match. So it is difficult to maybe predict the amount of points where we want to bench those players. But in terms of chips, I don't think there's any chip that I would really want to play that week. If you are thinking of wildcarding, I think it's better in game week 31 or later on. So no chips to be played in game week 32, and it's one of the very few remaining normal game weeks where I don't think there's any need to play a single chip left this season. Now, game week 33 we know is a double and blank confirmed. So we have doubles for the likes of Leicester, Newcastle, Manchester United. We also have blanks for the likes of Leeds, Wolves, Aston Villa, on top of having other double game weeks in there as well. Go and check out the full schedule for all of the information on that one, but it's definitely a good chance to use some of your chips. Free hit and bench boost are definitely the 2 chips I would consider playing if you have both of those left. I think free hit you could probably do better elsewhere, but if you do want to, plan around it, bring in the likes of your Chelsea assets, your Liverpool assets, your Manchester City assets who only have a single game week in game week 33, and then play your free hit that week to sell those players, to bring in the likes of Newcastle players, to bring in the likes of Manchester United options who do play Norwich at home in game week 33, bring back some of your Arsenal assets who also have a double game week, then a free hit then is also possible. However, a bench boost in game week 3 is a chip strategy that a lot of people have started talking about over the past few days, and this would allow you to basically not have to make that decision between, do you want to bench the likes of your single game weekers in Trent playing against Manchester United, in Arsenal versus Chelsea, for example? Do you want to start Havertz? Do you want to start Reece James? Or do you want to play a less proven assets from the likes of Newcastle or Leicester, although they have a double game week? It basically means you don't have to make that decision, because you can get all your bench points, because those good top teams do also have matches they can score points in, but there are also some of those cheap enablers that we're looking at from the likes of Newcastle, from the likes of Leicester, Arsenal having a double game week, so it could work very well for you there. If you wildcard in game week 31, a game week 33 bench boost goes very well hand in hand between those two. So if you have both your wildcard and bench boost left, it's definitely worth considering those as a combination. Game week 34 is potentially a small double game week if needed, and it's the same for game week 35 as well. One of these is likely to have a few games put in, although it's unlikely to have anything more than 2 extra fixtures added, so 4 teams doubling in either game week 34 or 35. Now, Chelsea could have a double in one of these if they get knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid, although it's likely not be the case. Well, I'm hoping as a Chelsea fan that they don't double when they go through, but Everton, for example, could have have one of their fixtures put into game week 35 against Crystal Palace, for example. But again, it's these small additional fixtures that could go into game week 35 or 34, and it's very hard for us to plan ahead on that, which means in theory you could wildcard in both game week 34 or 35 to plan ahead for game week 36, 37, 38, as well as bringing in players that double in that respective game week. However, you could also wildcard in game week 35, bring in lots of players who double in theory in game week 34, sell them all in game week 35 again. So wildcard in one of these two game weeks is definitely worthwhile, especially if you're not free hitting in game week 33 as well. The reason for this, it will allow you to bring in lots of players going into game week 33 for the double game week, and then if you wildcard in game week 34, you can then sell them straight away. So you don't need to worry about holding your Manchester United assets for the rest of the season, holding your Arsenal assets, holding onto your Newcastle, your Leicester picks for the rest of the season, when you can then just go and wildcard them out straight away. So potential small double game weeks in 35, 36. Game week 36, the big double game week we are likely to get in the remainder of the season. Basically, if you've got chips left to play, this is a great time to play it, whether it's your free hit, whether it's your bench boost, whether it's your triple captain. There are likely to be as many as 12 teams doubling, maybe 8, maybe 10, but it could be as many as 12. Check out the likes of Ben Krellin, Lego Mane, Planet FPL on Twitter, all of these guys predicting these double game weeks much better than I can do. So make sure you're going and following them and check out the exact schedule predictions. I've put one later in the video of what I've pulled together, but it won't be 100% accurate, but it's just an idea of what I think could happen. But it's a great chance to really target, use one of your remaining chips. The amount of chips played in this week will be massive. It will be the biggest scoring point week between now and the end of the season. Then we have game week 37, which is a double game week as well. Last possible time to add in any games. So any games that can't go into 34, 35, 36, they will have to go into game week 37 because they can't have a double in game week 38, of course, because all those games take place at the same time on the Sunday as the final day of the season. So a free hit is also good because we might not know the doubles until very late on before game week 37. Triple captain is also possible if you still have it and haven't had a chance to play it. Free hit, you could bring in players with a double game week that week if you still have it. And of course, game week 38, the final game week, likely to be a normal game week and free hit if you do want to play it. If you still have it left, I think you've probably wasted the opportunity. I think there's enough places between now and the end of the season to play your free hit that isn't game week 38. But if you do still have it left there, then of course, don't waste it and play it, because a lot of the top teams like Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal have very favourable home fixtures in that week that you could really try and maximise your points. So that's how the schedule is looking. I have probably one of 3 chip strategies between now and the end of the season. Originally, I was planning a game week 34 wildcard, game week 36 bench boost with a free hit in either game week 35 or game week 37. However, I am now considering a game week 31 wildcard, free hitting or bench boosting in 33 and then using the other one in game week 36 as well. I would say there's about a 50% chance that I wildcard in game week 34 and then equal 25% chance of both of the other 31 wildcard chip strategies. So I will keep you posted on if I do play my wildcard in game week 31. You will all know about it, don't worry. But remember to subscribe, turn on notifications, look at the community section. If you are unsure and want to make sure, check me out on Twitter as well, because all of it gets posted in there or on the community section. But that's my chip strategy. There's a few thoughts, but in terms of the plan and schedule of how it could look, now this is all hypothetical. Game week 33 is confirmed, but I've just put what could be the game week 36 and 37 double game weeks if that was to be the case. Now nothing is confirmed, so I'm not going to leave this up on screen for ages, but it is possible that we get something that looks like this: a big double game week in game week 36 and then doubles in game week 37 as well. So a few thoughts about what we could have, a few teams in there potentially with double game weeks as well. I've got Aston Villa, Chelsea, potentially if they beat Real Madrid, Everton and Leicester could all have double game weeks in game week 36 as well. So some teams that you could really look to target and bring in ahead of game week 36. But those are some first thoughts about chip strategy, about the remaining 8 game weeks of the season. 8 massive game weeks. We've got 8 free transfers plus a few hits to really try and maximize the amount of points we can get the highest rank we can, win those mini leagues as well. Any questions you've got about your team and however I can help you win those mini leagues, get that high rank, drop it in the comment section down below. Follow me over on Twitter. Consider joining as a member as well. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know your comments. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll be back again very soon.